Yes,
You know,
yeah.
he calls me every once in a while. As a matter of fact, he wants to come.
Oh, I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah, so we're
Yeah.
trying to set that
I'm
up.
trying to work that out.
Are we
Well,
ready?
my.
Oh, she has to turn it
Yes.
on.
Hi, Gail.
Okay, I'd like to call this meeting to order. We're
You know
supposed
he has to
to
connect.
please, stand up so we can say the pledge of allegiance.
We need teachers and
I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, so, the roll call. I don't have a list, but go ahead, please, yes.
Yolanda Gutierrez Garcia,
I'm here.
Armando Lopez,
Here.
Alfonso Santos, absent. Dr. Martha Villarreal,
Here.
Dr. Colin Campbell,
He's not here.
Gail Aper Rodriguez,
Here.
Robert M. Lopez,
Here.
Joe E. Arciniega, Julio Mendez. We have a quorum.
Okay, great. So, do we have any citizens' comments? Not today, right?
Not today.
Okay. The minutes, the reading and approval of minutes of September 20th.
And that's in your packet, if you could
Right.
look through those and.
Okay, this was from which?
September
Oh,
20th.
September
the last
20th.
time
It was the last time we had a forum.
we had a
Right,
quorum,
okay.
yes.
Okay, well, do I hear a motion to approve the minutes?
I haven't read it.
Oh, you wanna read it? Okay.
Yes.
Everybody good?
I'm going to be accepted minutes, that's correct?
Okay, do I hear a second?
Second.
Okay, so that's been moved and accepted. Communications and announcements, do we have anything?
No.
Anybody? Okay. Staff reports, status on artist contracts for the Mural Arts Grant Program.
I think we were just pending Mr. Mauro Martinez's, contract. It did come back, and he's already gotten his 50%.
Oh, good.
So, hopefully he'll be starting soon.
Yeah, he was waiting for the mall, the outlet mall to take care of that, because he didn't realize he had to go through another whole process with that.
He's been paid already?
50%
50%.
Oh,
upfront,
okay.
and then, upon completion, they get the other 50%.
Okay, and so, I guess Gil had already gotten his,
50%, yes, and I believe he's already starting.
yes, I saw it, I saw that, okay. Okay, an overview of the requirements of the City of Laredo ordinance, which adopted uniform policies for all boards, commissions, and committees created by City Council.
And you have in your packet a memo that staff liaison, Angie and myself, received from the city attorney regarding the new ordinance that governs commissions and boards and committees. Just to point out, this was effective in May, and as far as frequency, we are to have monthly meetings and on a set date, unless it's authorized by city manager that we can cancel some meetings.
Okay.
I was telling Mr. Lopez that my library board does combine a couple of meetings during the year, the November, December meeting, and one during the summer. And we did get permission to do that. There is a form in the back of that little packet that we need to submit, and
If we want to, combine meetings.
combine meetings, or if there's a meeting that needs to be canceled, because we
Okay.
know 2 weeks in advance, we have to submit
Okay.
this, that there's not gonna be a quorum, we can submit that.
Okay.
Let me see if there's other
Well, it
things I-
says where they must take place at City Hall, but obviously that's,
No, there's several departments that have gotten the equipment, so that's no longer
okay,
required.
okay.
It does, also under the automatic forfeiture, there is a rule that, being absent 3 meetings in 1 calendar year, it doesn't matter whether they're excused or not, as you know in the agenda, I've removed that
Right,
item.
Right.
And
Okay.
we cannot cancel a meeting if we know that there's not gonna be a quorum. We still have to hold a meeting. The chair has to wait 20 minutes, and
Right.
if there's no meeting, then we cancel it then,
Okay.
strictly for attendance.
Okay. And then here's the ordinance. Okay. Okay, so. Any discussion on any of this?
Any questions?
Questions, discussion? It's kind of cut and dry. Okay,
I think the only thing we talked about last time was that they seem to require that we have the meetings there.
no.
That's been clarified, right?
It's been
No,
clarified, yeah.
since then, like I said, there's been other departments that either already had the equipment or like us had it installed, so we're good.
Right,
We're
as long as
good.
we can be recorded.
Mhm.
Okay, so that's good. Okay, so the items for discussion and possible action today, I know we're gonna have a presentation by the group that was here the last time.
They were gonna be a little late, so if you wanna go in
Yeah.
and table it and come back to it.
Okay, so we'll table that for now. We do need to elect a co-chair. Okay,
Oh, because of Gabriel.
yes, he was the co-chair. So, do I hear any motions for nominees, or would somebody like to nominate somebody?
Does somebody want to do it?
Let's see.
Does
who's not
anybody
here.
want to volunteer
Yeah,
their
just say,
services?
ask.
Would anybody like to volunteer their services? We don't have,
Can we volunteer somebody who's absent?
I was gonna say, who's not here.
That's a voluntold.
Guess what? They come
Yeah.
back.
Well, you can always say, I want this person, and we can vote on that person and say, oh, guess what, you're the co-chair. I guess, I don't know.
What do you think? I'd like to nominate Julio Mendez.
Okay, do we need a second? Okay, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, okay, we're all in favor. So Julio's our new co-chair.
That's what he gets. Today's his birthday.
Oh, that's his birthday
Now we
present.
don't have to buy him a shirt.
Alrighty.
That was his gift.
Okay, so the Laredo Philharmonic Day of Action project with world famous cellist Yo-Yo Ma on April 13, 2019. Did we have something about that?
I didn't bring it,
Call
but
it.
I had already sent somebody, the Laredo Philharmonic, and I wish Dr. Collins.
Yeah, I think we talked about the last time, even though we didn't have
Yeah,
a quorum, I
and
remember.
really right now, it's, we don't have exactly how they're coming in.
Okay.
The San Antonio, Fine Arts is bringing
Mhm.
him down, and the first thing he said when he agreed was that he wanted to come to Laredo.
Right,
But we don't know exactly what he has in mind. But I thought that as a commission, that whenever we get the details,
Information.
yes, that we, do something, either a little reception or a welcoming.
Yeah, that would be great.
Because he's mega big.
Yes, he is.
Right, he is.
And it would be, I think, a feather in our caps if we could, you know, just.
Any ideas
promote
about
him.
where we could hold the reception? How many people do you think that would entail?
Well, I think the first thing would be to, you know, work with a press release.
Right.
And then once we do the press release, we can do a little reception somewhere. And I think that would be something that we might bring up to some of our council members and see if they're willing to come up and host it and suggest where we could have it.
Okay.
We as a commission could probably recommend
Mhm.
a place and see if the.
I guess it just depends on how many people would be
Right.
involved.
And right now, since it's not until April and we don't have all the details.
Right.
Kind of, but I thought if we discussed it now, maybe not take action because we
Right.
don't have enough information. But if we discussed it and put it as something that we would want to,
Be involved with,
Be
yes,
involved
I
with.
think so too.
But this would include the mayor and the city council
Yes,
members
I'm
and all
sure.
of that,
yeah,
so.
the city of Laredo.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it also includes I'm sure the Philharmonic
I'm
and the
sure.
board and.
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, do we need a motion to say we want to participate or be involved somehow with this, presentation? I guess so.
Make a motion to either try
Right.
to put together the reception.
You know,
or
one of the
whatever.
things that he wants to do is he wants to do something for the kids.
Right.
In Laredo.
Right.
And certainly if he does that, then I would want to volunteer VMT because we have the facilities.
Right.
You know, we have the auditorium and, you know. I'd like to make a motion that as a commission, we approach, city council,
Mm-hmm.
to, promote this event. And certainly, have a press release, and take action. And I don't know exactly what action, so I don't know how I would put that in a motion, but certainly we wanna do something.
Be involved in some way, participate in some way, maybe host the event or find a venue
Right.
for it or whatever, I think, yeah.
I
So,
think, if I'm not mistaken, he requested for the venue not to be too big.
okay,
He kinda wants to target, like
The
Dr. Lee
kids,
said,
yeah.
students and a smaller
like he's gonna
crowd.
play, you mean where he's going to play?
Yes, yes.
Yes, okay.
yes.
There's a documentary on HBO called The Music of Strangers that he, where he talks about his life journey and he puts together a band, an orchestra, well, it's kind of like a band orchestra, but it's of all the nationalities in the world.
Yeah.
An Iranian, and they play some of their native instruments and stuff like that. So he's really on the kick of diversity and those things, and they show him playing at a small venue, stuff like that. So if you take a look at that documentary, I think you can just go to HBO and it's one of the
And I
free
don't know
documentaries.
that he's got a book, it's in the best-selling list, and can't remember, the name of the book. My daughter bought it, he said, "You've got to read it, Mom, you'd not believe this man." But that, I'm so excited that, that he wants to, and nobody asked him.
No.
The first
He
thing
picked
he
Laredo.
did, the first thing when he accepted going to San Antonio, the first thing he did was, "I'll go in the condition that I visit Laredo and I can work with the kids."
That's amazing.
Well, then should
Has he
we,
been here before?
No.
should we have a subcommittee or something that basically is going to track the progress of this thing and then start the launch of
I think that's a good
advising
idea.
the city council and the mayor and
Yeah, I think
exploring the
that's a good
venue.
idea.
The performance venue, of course, at VMT would be ideal.
Right.
And then a reception, which is a great idea, it's something intimate, but that we can
It could be at
leverage.
my gallery if you all think that, if that holds like 100 people.
Something like that,
Yeah,
that
it
intimate
holds
like
like
that
100
would be
people.
spectacular, and it's downtown, so the city
Right.
council and the mayor can pop over
And
there.
I mean, is he staying? He might be staying at La Posada, who
Mhm.
knows?
Okay, well then
Yeah.
let's
So we
do that.
can,
Let's
we
add
need
that.
like, so the motion would be that we want to for sure participate and maybe form a subcommittee or one person of our group who would be following up on this and keep us informed and I guess what?
So the
Maybe
point,
the commission should, that the Fine Arts and Culture Commission should be involved in promoting his visit
Okay,
yes,
to Laredo and facilitating
right, in
his-
whatever way we can.
whatever way we
Right.
can.
yeah, we should be, yeah, I agree with you, we should be the driver here because,
Okay.
because we have the most
Right.
contacts across the city in this, so.
Okay,
no, I
so
would
that's the
definitely-
motion,
yeah.
and then we need a second.
I second.
Second, okay. So it's been moved and seconded that we participate and be proactive with this visit by Yo-Yo Ma. And I don't know, do you wanna take on the role of being that
Liaison.
liaison with this, when it happens or when they start planning it?
Well,
Sure, I can do
But isn't, who brought it to us?
The
That
Laredo
was-
Philharmonic.
But
It
wasn't
says-
that Colin?
It says the
No, I
Laredo
did.
Oh, you did?
Philharmonic.
Oh,
It
I
Okay,
did,
well
I did, I
All right.
sent it, and the reason, and this is how I found out, because John Ryman is with
Yes.
the Laredo Philharmonic,
Right.
and they got the news.
Uh-huh.
And he's one of my teachers there, and immediately he says, oh my God,
Right.
you've
Yeah.
got to get involved.
Yeah, they're calling it a Day of Action project, with world
Right.
famous cellist Yo-Yo Ma.
That's awesome.
Okay,
Well, I'll volunteer to work with you, Mark.
Good.
that would be great.
Let's you and I cover that. I can write press releases for sure.
Okay, cool. Okay, so then we're on to the request that I made to discuss our role and mission.
Here we go.
Because, I think the concerns were that we were given the task of choosing, muralists to paint murals around Laredo. That's part of our task on this commission. And so that project is like something that we are in charge of, sending out the applications, or, the city of Laredo obviously does all that, but we are getting people to apply, to submit their applications for having a mural in Laredo, and then coming and presenting to us, and then we get to decide which, with the budget that we are allotted, who we can, say we have money for you to make that mural. And so, obviously, we didn't have enough money to fund everybody, and then, I think that, there were some questions that were put to me about, so what is our mission if after we don't fund somebody, they can go straight to a city council member and get funding, and twice the amount of funding that we were even allowed to give. And so we're a little concerned about, are we supposed to be working with the city council members if somebody approaches them, or if they're approached by anything that has to do with arts and culture? Are we working with them, or are we allowed to make suggestions, or do they suggest to us, or how is our involvement exactly tied in with all of this? And so I think we all felt kind of, it was a little unusual that for whatever reasons, this person wasn't chosen, but then she was able to go get that funding at twice the amount through a city council member, which I know they have discretionary funds and they can do whatever they want with those funds. But we're just wondering if it's something that falls under our mission. Do we get notification? Do we get suggestions?
I think the first thing that, I know what you're talking about, because I go to city council every other Monday of the month.
Mhm.
But I'm thinking that something went wrong here. I don't like this, because we were not put aware of what was
Right.
happening. Either we're here, I see myself, I love this, but I don't wanna be here just as a monkey on the stool. I mean, I don't think they should make a decision. I think we should go and say, hey, this and this, do you think we could use some of your money and and then it would work.
And in our
But not like that.
And in our discussion, when we did decide who we wanted to give the money that we had to, I know that we even discussed that what if, if we thought there was, other people that
Yeah.
applied, could we approach a city council member and say, hey, would you like to fund another mural from your discretionary funds? But that would then, like you're saying, keep everybody, this commission would be doing its job. And if we had other things like the one that Vicky submitted, that were those kind of totem poles for the parrots and stuff like that I thought was amazing. Like, could we get a council member to fund that, that has nothing to do with the mural project, right? And so we did have those questions when all of this was going on, and we would just really like some clarification. I know that, that's their discretionary fund, they obviously can do what they want with it, but should they should they direct anybody who comes and asks for funding for something that would fall under our commission to us?
Well-
And then we could say to the
No, it's
council.
wrong.
But do we know, I guess that's the question, do we know that that council member essentially consciously knew that
Yes.
this person did an end run of,
Well,
I mean-
it was known that she did not get funded through us.
okay,
So she then went
no,
to him.
it was known that the council member knew,
Yes,
Okay.
everybody knew.
okay.
No, you're asking if the
Yeah,
council.
did the council member even know? I
Was
mean, if
it-
I'm a council
yeah,
member and I'm
what's
thinking,
happening?
oh, yeah, sure, I've got some discretionary
I
funds.
believe so.
So,
Maybe he didn't. but
well,
I believe so.
let's, if I
You
may,
should
let's,
ask.
let's start with the assumption
Right.
that he didn't either know or really understand our role,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't a hostile thing, it was just like, hey, I mean, I have discretionary people come to me all the time. What I would say we can control, we can't control what they do ultimately,
Right,
but we can
exactly.
control our messaging to city council.
Right.
And I do think, we talked about this once before, that maybe what we're gonna need to do, especially in the early stages of this, is be
Yes.
present at the city council meetings with an
Yes.
excuse for a mini little update, a presentation
Exactly.
on a regular basis, so that they just kinda go, oh yeah, it's the Arts Commission again, oh, there you are again, okay.
No, but in this case, I think that we should, either one, two, or three of us go and say,
Yes.
listen, this happened, you
Yes.
don't know what happened, can somebody explain it to me?
Mhm,
Like,
When they formed this commission,
mhm.
and I believe there was, the mayor.
yes,
Okay.
Yes.
When they formed this commission, there was a mission and goals, and I think they're stated, because what is our purpose and what is our
Right.
role? But we need to go to city council and say, how much weight what you wrote in here have? Because it says that all the art projects would go through our commission
Right,
for approval.
right.
yes.
Now, what we need to have the council do is really specify if it's going, if everything that is going to go before the city having to do the arts, does
Arts and
everything
culture, right,
what is our role as far as what they wrote
Right.
here?
right.
Is it just, when it's convenient for them? You know, we need to know how much weight what they put in writing
Right.
holds for us.
Right.
Because if not, you
Yes, I
know, we're
agree.
just.
It's useless.
You know,
I-
we're just
I
a
agree.
quasi-commission and we
Yeah.
don't want that.
No.
And I'm sure that once they clarify that,
Mhm.
but I think that we need to bring it, submit a
In
letter
the
and
open.
say, this is what we were tasked with doing,
And
explain to us, be
Right.
very specific.
what
If
exactly?
everything that's gonna
Yeah.
go before city council, for the city, is it going to have to be run through us first? And that's all, we just need clarification for them to tell us.
Right,
And because it's there in black and white, and I remember reading it,
yes.
and it's very specific,
Yeah.
and
And
it
does
does
anybody
state.
here that works with the city know what happened? No? No, you're not aware of anything?
No, I mean, I was surprised that
Yeah.
you were,
Oh, okay.
she showed up and she presented before them and it got approved by all of them.
Right,
But you know what?
She did it on her
But you
own.
know what happens? City council has a lot of these commissions, and sometimes they don't really look at the role, and it could have been that they were not aware.
Yes.
Right.
Could
what
be.
are actually
They were not
our
aware, and I
guidelines were.
think that once, if we ask the mayor and the city council to really look at this and then tell us specifically, this is what your role is gonna be.
Right,
Because, and for everybody to be aware, because, you know, they changed city council members.
And they're about to.
And they're about to again, and
Right.
they might not be aware of everything,
exactly.
you know, and it could have been that Mr. Perez was not aware.
Mhm.
And because it's a newly formed commission. So
It was Alex?
I think maybe
No,
that's
it
what
was
happened,
Mr.
I don't think it was done
It's his name.
intentionally.
It wasn't Perez, it was
It
Valley.
wasn't bad.
Valley.
Valley.
Oh,
Yeah,
Valley.
because Alex knew.
That was
I
in
didn't
his,
know.
that
We
was in
wouldn't
his
have
district,
made that.
cause she wants it downtown, so it's
Oh,
in Valley's
okay, it's
district.
Valley.
Uh-huh.
So
It could have
I'm
been
just
her, it
curious,
could have been her.
in her presentation, was there any mention made that she wasn't one of the finalists?
I don't specifically recall, but I don't think there was.
So maybe there was some information that was not related.
Yeah,
or- I
well,
don't know.
right, we don't know, uh-huh.
But most definitely, yes, I think it's a great,
But I think we do need to approach.
Yes.
And, you know, just say, well, you know, we're a little confused, we're,
So let's get on the agenda. I
Yeah,
mean, let's
that's
get on the
what
next
I get,
agenda.
you can go before them as a citizen comments, but they can't comment on
Right.
what you say. You can get on the agenda, I know that they voted to have all the commissions, committees, and boards present at least once a year. I don't know how, I can ask to see how we can go about, and it would probably be a staff report.
Okay.
oh, okay.
I suggest we wait till January. I
Okay.
know
Yeah.
that we have one more meeting left in November. Agenda has already been posted. And there's only one meeting in December and one meeting in January.
Okay.
So we might have to wait for February, but I can approach and see if you
Right.
can go and report on what you've done. And
That's good.
offer your, we're here, we're the experts, you know.
And your update,
mhm.
we do the year summary.
Mhm.
We did accomplish the
Right,
Yeah.
murals project,
sure, that
so
would be,
that's
I
good.
think that's an excellent idea. Do we need a motion for this?
No, I don't think so.
No, okay.
Let me find out
This is
first,
the discussion.
when we can get on the agenda and.
Okay, and in conjunction with this, particular item, I was thinking that maybe we can all go home and figure out, or make a list, maybe for our next meeting in December, of the things that we would like to see happening in Laredo. Like, let's say, what if we wanted, a jazz festival? I know they do one at BMT, but what if we wanted a citywide jazz festival? Or what if we wanted, some kind of a dance festival? Or what if we wanted, a literary festival? But things that would, you know,
Promote the arts.
promote the arts citywide, not just, you know, in one area of the city or like that. So maybe we need to work on what we have in mind ourselves as a commission, and then try to find out what they have in mind for us and see. I think we have a lot of leeway. It's called the Arts and Culture Commission, and I really think we have a lot of leeway to bring in, to put together different things that we think would be good for our city, that would make our city more conducive to people wanting to come and live here, and businesses, you know, they say there's nothing to do in Laredo, so maybe that's also something that we need to get a little busy and
Yes.
get, put together some kind of, let's say, a schedule that we would like to see happen in maybe 2019, and see how we can work with some of that discretionary funds of the council members and whatever they're allotting to us, which was only for the mural project. I don't know what other monies were even being allowed, but if we can work through those council people to also get some of their discretionary funds to bring about
A little
wonderful
bigger.
events in Laredo. Okay.
So our next meeting is December?
December.
Oh, we have a December meeting?
It's up to you.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
If you would like to ask for it to.
It's supposed to be what day was that?
Third Thursday of the month.
The third Thursday, which is, the 20th. Okay? So I don't know if that's good for everybody.
Oh, it's Christmas time. Christmas week.
I mean,
That's when my library board combines November, cause it comes towards the end of
November,
Thanksgiving and then Christmas, so they combine it at the
What if
beginning
we
of December.
combine December and January, and do it in January?
I mean, we could do that. If everybody's in
It's
agreement.
lower, much lower in January, I know
Much.
December is lower.
Okay, so do I have a motion? Or do we have to fill out this form or what?
I don't know, I don't think you need to sign it, I just need to submit it, we can submit it,
Okay.
and it just needs Mr. De Leon's.
So we don't need a motion, we just submit the form if we all agree that maybe we should.
So then in line with that, to your suggestion, maybe that's what we do between now and the next meeting. We all come, we're on the agenda of the meeting to present to our own selves
Right.
the ideas, and we decide from that pool of ideas, the top 3 or
Right.
5
Right.
that we're going to champion, and we talk about that at our meeting at the city council too.
Yeah, that would be great.
So
So
I think
that's
that's
a
a
really
great
good
idea,
idea.
Gail, to
Great
do
idea.
that, and we bring that to the
Because,
meeting.
because right now, all we know is we got money to fund some murals,
That's
but
right.
that's about
Way more
it.
than that.
And so, what are we supposed to do with the rest of our time, you know? And I really think that we could be a very key group in bringing about the change we want to see in Laredo when it comes to arts and culture. So I think that's what we have to understand is our, you know, purpose here.
So the
Because
next item is the scheduling of the meeting. Do you want to keep it the third Thursday? And that would be
17th?
The 17th.
The 17th of January.
That'll work for me.
That works for me. January 17th.
5:30. And one of the items was, would be the presentation by the members of
Yes.
ideas for the coming year.
Now, do we want to go ahead and set a date where we could request to come before the board, before the city council in January if possible?
It would have to be
That
after
would be
this summer.
the 21st, and that's the only meeting that's scheduled. I suggest you maybe move it to February, because
Okay.
that means we've only had 2 meetings in 2
Okay.
months, so there's
Alright.
gonna be a lot of
Alright.
items.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the 17th, okay,
That would be here too, we're meeting here.
Here.
That's awesome.
okay, yeah, I guess that's
Do
fine.
we have to make a motion to combine the December and January meetings?
You can go ahead, I mean, it doesn't hurt.
Okay, so,
To request.
do I hear a
city manager
motion to combine December, January
I so
meetings?
move.
A second? Okay, so that's been moved and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so we are combining those 2 meetings
And the date
for
in January?
January
17th.
17th.
17.
And then we're gonna try to get on city council in February.
Okay, sounds good. And we should by then have an idea of what we would like as a commission to be doing for our whole year, right?
And you don't have to vote on which meeting, there's gonna be one on the 4th and on the 18th, and they usually post the Wednesday before. So
Okay.
so let me know, you can vote on it in January.
All right.
Okay, so then I guess we need to have our presentation by the Transformando Laredo on the Phoenix Wings Art Project,
Can I look in here?
which we were lucky enough to hear about the last time, but we didn't have a quorum, so we asked them to come back.
I've already seen this and I've already expressed my support
Okay,
for the
great.
project.
All righty, thank you
I
so
don't know
much.
if you made any progress on the mobile
Yes, we
idea.
did.
Okay,
We did,
good.
we did.
All right.
We're about to show you the picture.
Okay, okay, good.
Okay, good.
Well, I'll stay with it.
We still have a quorum.
Yes, yes.
All kinds of securities.
Yes, they know, they know.
Oops. So we came last night and we tried to introduce an art idea. So what we are looking for is a space in Laredo that is public and that is accessible to everyone. We first went to, I would like to share this, you guys. I am a professor of government, and so watching you discuss the authority of your commission is very heartwarming. You have no idea. And just so you know, from the perspective of the citizen, we have been trying to follow steps to be able to understand the process, and the Parks and Recreation Commission sent us to you. So they recognize your authority in this process, and they told us it is going to be up to that commission to authorize this. And so they send us from the Parks and Recreation Commission with their full support. They said, wherever you guys want to put these wings, it will be good. So we came here last time asking you for that. Where would it be a good place for us to put these wings? And there was no quorum, and the idea was for you guys to go back home and think about maybe where it would be a good place. You also recommended us to go to LISD in order to maybe think about putting them outside the civic center. So we have contacted them. They haven't put us in their agenda yet, but we're still pressuring them for that. In the meantime, you also recommended us to do mobile wings, to be able to take them to events in order to encourage people when it comes to the arts. The whole idea is to do a wall. Even though it looks like bricks, the real wall is going to be blocks, because we want it to resemble the wall that they are constructing on the border. The wall is going to be gray, of course, no color. The words are going to be what you see. Negative words are going to be on the wall, like despair, racism, hopelessness, lovelessness, ignorance, cruelty. I don't know if I can zoom in. But that's the types of words we have in the wall. Yeah. The wings, in reality, are going to be made of fiberglass, because we are hoping that the light can play with the colors and create the fire looking. They're phoenix wings. So we are pushing for this interactive form of art where people can stand and maybe allow for the possibility of accepting the eternal spirit of transformation in humanity. In other words, for them to stop saying things are the way they are, right? It is what it is. It's our famous word around here. We're trying to encourage discussion, but transformation from the self in order to pass into the community. So the wings will have words that are positive, like love, unity, peace, in order to be able to push this kind of theme. We made our presentation because we were on a deadline, but we are still working really hard through this process that has been long in order to find a place. You guys also recommended us to also think maybe doing 2 or 3 with the same conceptualization or different kinds of things. And we're seriously considering collecting funds in order to be able to approach other artists to be able to do that same thing around the city.
The same concept,
The same concept,
a different point of view.
approach, or
Right.
yes, exactly.
This reminds me, we were, not too long ago, we had the unveiling of the big sculpture that they're gonna use, that Marcello Giorgio.
Right, yes.
Yes,
It's
yes,
gorgeous.
it's beautiful.
This would go just so perfect with that, in that area, because really what it is, it's very significant, you know, to our culture here. And the idea that we welcome immigrants and we welcome everybody, and that we need to be positive. And that's the message that the whole sculpture of the hands is trying to.
Where are they putting that sculpture?
It's gorgeous. It's gonna be at the end, you know, where the expressway.
Yeah, at those one of those 4 blocks.
Right.
Right, okay.
Right. If we could, maybe.
The problem with this is that we said the last time, because it's interactive, you would have people crossing
Yeah, where are they gonna
the
park?
expressway, the highway, where it's ending, to get to it, and that seemed to be.
This is interactive?
Yeah, she wants people to be able to stand
To
there.
stand and pose.
So that was the problem we discussed last time, that it was not maybe conducive to being in one of those 4 blocks, because it's hard to get to.
And it might, just for me, it might minimize it to be an adjunct to something that was so huge and
Right.
powerful. And, but can we ask questions about some things?
Sure.
And I'm sorry I wasn't here at last meeting, so is this rendering, because there's a person there, so this exists somewhere?
Well, it's mobile.
Oh, so this is the mobile.
This is the mobile. We created it in 1 month.
Wow, that's awesome.
That's right.
I love it. But I'd like to make a comment, just because for me, the position that you're taking about the blocks, the cinder blocks and all of that. It, just my opinion, makes that feel a little too literal, in that you're literally now representing the wall as the border wall. And just an opinion, yeah, it's gonna make a lot of people, especially in Laredo, happy, even the literalness of it. But it removes it as an art object that people can interpret it in whatever other way. This is just my opinion. What I loved about this is because it was a brick wall and it's a wall, and if you wanted to see that as the wall, or you wanted to see that as walls of prejudice or walls of something else, I liked that. Just my opinion is that making it too literal is going to politicize it, and it will exclude people who actually live here in Laredo. It really will. And that's not the way to start to bridge understanding. That's the way to continue to say what's being said today, which is, we're this and they're that, you know? And sorry, unless you want to think this way, you're not part of us, and you're not part of this art either. And that's, I hope that we can remove ourselves from making art about a point of view that's a political point of view. Just be my
That's a great
feeling.
comment. Definitely, because the point is for us to break limitations.
Mhm.
So you're right, maybe we remove it more from the political side.
Right, and
You
so
know,
maybe just the wording doesn't need to be there, but everything else is very suggestive of whatever.
I don't even have a problem with the wording, just personally. I mean, since we're talking about that, I don't have a problem with the wording. But prejudice and cruelty and all of that, there's a lot that you can take from that about even the issue. But to make it look like the border wall
Oh, I
means
see.
you've turned this into the border wall thing.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't believe, I'm an artist, I would hate to be telling an artist how to do their art, but I would just say, just in terms of that, this is awesome, but something that starts to look too much like Trump's wall, you know, or even if the wording is very pointed and is doing that, even if the artist intended that, the beauty of art is the artist may intend one thing, but other people see it a whole different thing, and that's what I think ultimately the artist would
No,
want.
great point.
I'm gonna disagree with you, Joe, in this one. You know, most of the memorials and everything, it's walls. Walls give a message. It's not necessarily here because right now the issue is the Trump wall, and there's a lot of division caused by that. But when you look at, in the sense of humanity, walls are built in our hearts and our heads. And this is significant of, I think, things that exist. The wall is just, to me, it's an interpretation of a lot of things that are negative. Now, I don't know, and I love the idea that you have the wings that are supposed to take flight when you change those thinkings, when you change those perspectives. You take wings and you grow and you fly. I don't see that as a negative. As a matter of fact, I think it's perfect, but that's my opinion. Every time that you go and you look at, because I did a study on walls, and this was an art project way back, and there's all kinds of walls.
Sure.
And they have meaning not so much as to keep people apart. It's the humanity in each one of us and what it represents individually for each person. So I don't see that, but again, I don't know, that's just my opinion, and I don't know, but this is how I see it, and I say, wow. You know, the block, those bricks represent something that's keeping us from growing.
The
and
bricks are
moving.
not my problem. I think that was the
Well,
point I was
but the wall
making.
is, you know.
No, the wall is not my problem
problem.
either. I'm telling you, I'm telling them, I love this. I'm only responding to the concept of further taking this and maybe adjusting it to look more like the border wall. So, Martha, I have no problem with the wall. I agree that the walls mean a whole bunch of different things. And that's what is
But
beautiful
does-
about it.
Does that look like Trump's wall? I don't know what the wall is gonna look like.
No, they were talking about cinder blocks and that's all. And maybe I took you too literally, so maybe I'm mistaken. But that was I was responding to, any attempt to try to turn this into Trump's wall is an unfortunate one. But that is this man's opinion, and that's all.
No, I think you two were saying the same thing.
Yeah, I feel like it,
Yes.
Martha. We're saying the same thing.
Okay.
Well, I think everybody's
I think
gonna have a
that
different
as-
opinion.
Yes, isn't that beautiful about art?
And I
That's the
think
crazy
that
thing.
I can see something here and you'll see something
Yeah,
else.
but you've done your job, because good art
Yes.
makes
Yeah.
people disagree and start and
Absolutely.
agree.
We agree to disagree.
Saying-
But again, we wouldn't have this, if there was no proposition for a border wall, the wall we would be thinking about would have been the wall that came down in Berlin.
Exactly.
Right.
All of us have lived through something like that. Back then, that wall it only had a negative connotation.
Absolutely.
So,
It's
to me, it's like,
I love it.
if we, yeah, I mean, I think, once the artist decides what they're gonna do and how they interpret it, we've kind of gotta let the people
Let it
So
decide.
you have this already, you produced this,
Yes.
this mobile one, okay.
Awesome.
And we had even said something about maybe having more than one, you know,
That's right.
so,
You know, I went to an event that Tricia Cortez had at the Haynes.
oh, yeah.
area.
Yeah,
But that park in there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not a lot of people that go to it. I
Right.
mean, but it would, something like this would look, because it had bluffs and it has different, it's along in South Laredo, and there's
Right.
areas there where there's elevation,
Mhm.
because it kind of looks like it belongs in a place that has elevation.
And
Mhm.
access, people have
Mhm.
access to.
Access to.
That's beautiful.
You can see it from here, but the words, some of them are in like white or silver, and some of them are in red and
Yes.
black, and most of them, like you said, are negative words. Like you can see them some right here and red up there.
Right.
But
you
the
can't-
actual
yeah,
wings,
it's
they
hard
have
to see.
positive words, which is love, compassion, many words.
Right.
Unity, which are completely the opposite of what the wall
What the
says.
wall says.
The bricks are down there, and you can see it here, but there's like ashes on the ground.
Mhm.
And there's wings on the ground also that symbolize that phoenix burned. So it's once you see it in real life, it's very we did it, but it's
No, well,
Really?
we love it, and
I love
I mean,
it. I wouldn't change it.
I'm wondering, what is our role then in supporting this? Is it to get funding for this?
No, we're taking care of the funding.
Okay.
Just to let them know where we
Where you wanna put it, right?
Oh, I see,
Well, that-
suggestions.
They're actually answering the question that you raised about what our role is.
Right,
They're respecting our role
right.
to recommend to the city a location that our arts commission
Okay.
would feel that
And she would like it, to take it to city council, and when you present, you can say it got approved by the finance.
Right. Yes, that
And
would
they're
go
very
with
enthusiastic.
recommendations of places, because just so you guys know, as citizens, we did contacted city council members like Bali,
Uh-huh.
and who else did we talk to? San Miguel, that's right. And Bali we contacted him because he's downtown area.
Right.
And he was very much into it, but he also told us we needed to come to you.
Oh, that's
Okay,
good.
that's good.
Yes,
So
I
maybe
wanted to
people-
mention
You know,
that.
I can see this in the entrance of Laredo. I don't know why, something
Like,
North.
Well,
When you're
it has
coming
two
in
entrances.
on 35,
It has two entrances, you're right, Michael.
We have two entrances.
She
exactly.
means the north
We
entrance.
actually have more than two, because
But-
you, from the
but
east
east
and
and
the
west.
west, so
Okay.
there you go.
So we want
I love
four.
it.
No.
I
do
love
too.
it.
I really love it.
But yes, we were supposed to come up with places, but we did kind of discuss that the
We
last
did,
time.
we did.
The civic center
Oh.
and.
I had suggested the library,
The library, yeah, we did.
because the way to tear down a lot of that is for people to get knowledge.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yes.
yeah.
And we are.
And I mean, maybe we should also put on our thinking caps and come up with more places and see maybe where else.
We
Like-
talked about events also, right?
Yes,
Got
having
some
it
before
available
Some
for
of the bigger
events,
events
yes.
that
Absolutely.
could be placed at.
So count us we have no idea where to find out about your events, but count us in every time you have an event, we'll take our
Right.
events.
Well, we,
If you make yourself available, you'll get calls.
yeah.
What is it?
Yeah.
Is
Now,
the
we
piece
sure like to
title?
have you.
What do you
learn
call
more
it?
slang.
We are calling it
Yes.
Oh,
the
that's perfect.
moment of transformation. And it has to do
I love
with
that.
your understanding
We
of
could
time and
ask for
space.
street closure
And
and
how,
have it like
and how
that.
you choose
Yeah, like we did last time. I
put
agree, I
aside
love it.
time
Let's
and
do it.
space for
We should do it on the
transformation the minute you
anniversary of
decide
Bob's
to change
When
it.
is
Change.
that?
That's the moment.
Is that what the caption reads over here on the left?
Fiberglass.
Is that-
Well, in
What?
the ones that we are thinking of permanently are going to be
April.
fiberglass, but no, these ones
Oh,
are
that
made
would
of.
be great.
What are they made of?
Bondo?
Bondo.
Well, they made out of
I don't know what Bondo is.
Do you have
It's
a
what they
spot
use
where
on
you would like to,
cars.
I mean, have any of you thought about where you would like it to be? What's
Which
your?
is
We
the
were
biggest
thinking
venue that
downtown
we
in
have
a
here.
plaza area because we
The
wanted
LEA.
it accessible to the
The
public.
LEA.
To the public.
Well, it's not the
And
only
Valley
anymore, the
said-
same,
Oh, no, that's right.
Motor.
Once the
No,
commission
Saint John.
same
approves
auto
it,
arena.
and we can think
That's
of where
right.
to put it.
Okay.
And I really have no idea how your
Same
process
auto
works, if
arena.
you have to present it to the city council
Yeah.
with a place
It's a-
in mind or
tiene
choices
mucho
for
lugar.
them.
Usually it's the artist.
And people go there.
Well, but it
They
would be
see what
this
they-
if it was
Mhm.
Where they
transparent.
want
Vision.
it.
Where we want
Yeah,
it.
they envision what they wanted.
But you can go before them with the seal of approval of, you know,
Right.
fine arts can
True.
Gail, did you pick that up? That where they originally wanted it was somewhere downtown.
Yes, we did discuss that when she was here, and we were thinking a lot about that. We discussed the 4 blocks, and,
Yeah.
but then I said it's interactive. How do you
Right.
get
Yeah.
over crossing
Yeah.
the traffic? I mean,
And just,
So
I
then
mean,
the plaza
that
would
this
be-
crosses other lines, it could,
Bueno,
the
the
sign
traffic is
ordinance,
different.
the,
Yes, yes,
the
yes.
historical commission.
but I think it would be cool if it could be at the San Agustin Plaza, or even
That was
on
our
the,
original.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
wanted
That's
to
what?
time.
That was
our
our
original.
original
We wanted it.
But there might be others, the issues that come up.
but I was also thinking, because of that, if you think of the space at the San Agustin Plaza, the church might even let them put it there, you
On the
know,
side of the
because
front.
they have let us use that part of their walkway to get into
The
the church
entrance,
for
right.
other things. So that might be something they might,
And-
allow.
It's,
Well, the one place that the city controls downtown that they didn't used to control, that would make it a very impactful place, is to the, somewhere on the grounds of the old, US District Courthouse.
Oh,
Across the street
the
from
Jarvis
Jarvis
Plaza,
Plaza.
across from Jarvis Plaza.
Absolutely.
That's
Yeah.
perfect.
Is
So-
that, there's no other courthouse there?
It did not belong to the city, the federal government donated it to the
Correct.
city. of
Oh.
Laredo,
You're right,
And they've
Mama.
been trying to find a use for it.
Oh, wow.
And it's close to,
The park.
Cultura Beer Gardens,
Yes.
Mile 1.
Yeah,
Ah,
it's,
de veras,
And
sí.
people are
that might be a good
congregating there.
place too.
So
Yeah.
I so move,
That's
and then,
great.
and then that way you have one place.
that's right,
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay.
Plus, it has a beautiful classic, backdrop. I
Yes.
mean, that
Very
building
pretty.
is
Very
extraordinary.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's
Post
any kind of restrictions
Well,
when
no.
it was.
No, now it belongs to the
Yeah.
city. They donated it to, I mean, the
It's
city
not
might
a
have
post office
restrictions.
anymore either?
It's a post office.
Oh, it's still a post office, so it's still a federal, there's still a
The
federal.
last they voted on,
agency.
making it like a center for all the nonprofits, giving
Oh,
office
really?
space.
Well, that would be a perfect place then.
Mhm. They did vote on that
Wow.
a couple of meetings ago.
What are they using that space where they tore down that courthouse?
Nothing, it's an empty,
But is it a parking space or it's just?
no, it's just bare.
Maybe that would be right in the center. That's very visible too.
Mhm.
Well, it depends on if they're gonna
When
keep
the old, where they
it
tore down the
open
old
space.
beautiful courthouse.
I don't know what they're gonna do there. Do you?
That's so
Have they
That's
discussed?
probably a parking lot. Where?
No, it's
oh,
not, no, it's not, it's not a parking lot.
It's nothing right now.
Oh, it's nothing.
It's just
But
blank.
but again, that's not city property.
It's- no?
The one that's across from the old courthouse, that was
Yes.
the annex. It
Yeah,
was the
the
Webb
one they
County
tore
annex.
down, yeah.
It's the Webb County annex.
It's Webb
And
County.
that's so
It's kind of-
visible and so there, I mean, it's real big.
Okay,
But the other
so,
one that you suggested,
so-
I think that's a very good
I
place.
do
so
too.
we're
We should
suggesting
explore
that place, and also, we would love it to be, because it is now mobile, that it could be, we
Well,
would
this
love,
one is not.
This one,
that one is mobile.
No,
We
they're
would
talking
love
about permanent
to-
installment.
Oh,
Yes.
you want a permanent installation as well? Oh, okay,
Not for this, to make another one.
to make
Mhm.
another one,
Yes.
Mhm.
I see, okay.
That's great.
So, yeah, I think it would be wonderful.
That's a terrific idea.
I love it.
Do you know where we're talking about?
Yes.
You do, okay. Because it's super visible right there. The plaza's right there, right in front of it. That's where all the events are for the police week, they're all right
This
there.
is something I did at my gallery, outside my gallery. And it was exactly that idea that people could stand there and take that photo. And it was for Foto Septiembre, so this was a photographic thing. I put wings
Your
on that
wings,
corner
yeah.
of
Oh my
my
God,
gallery.
buena
Yes, I
idea.
saw that.
But someone stole my wings, because they were, you know,
Mira qué
what do
padre.
you call it, stick-on.
Ahora como en ser en-
It only lasted 3 weeks, and somebody told me they're gonna steal those wings, and sure enough, I showed up and did.
It was outside
I
the
stuck
building?
them, yeah, I had them made with, it's like a transfer, whatever, when you
That's
know.
what we were thinking of.
And it
Here
just
at the
came
library.
So
Yeah.
sad.
I just peeled them on it.
The only reason I made the motion is because we're not meeting again until January.
Right.
Yes,
Just
no,
wanted to
let's
make
get
sure
them
that-
moving.
No, I think that's a good,
Let's
okay,
give
so
them
he
something.
moved
Yeah, I
that
saw
they,
that.
we have a
Everybody
second,
else did
it was moved and seconded that they approached the city and asked to have the permanent installation at the old, what is it,
In the yard of the
courthouse.
old courthouse.
Okay, and that we are in 100% support of them. And then, of course, their mobile thing and all that. Yeah, all in favor of that, motion?
Aye.
Okay, so it was moved and seconded and passed, to, that she can recommend, that we had that recommendation for her.
And I'm almost gonna guarantee you that Cultura Beer Gardens would love to have it there every once in a while.
Yeah, the
Mobile.
mobile one is awesome because it can be participating in lots of things, so I think that's also great.
And it'd be great to take it to the different parts, like.
That would be very nice. That would be very nice.
It, how big is it, like 8?
Yeah, it's, each side is 4 by 8.
Okay.
So,
4 by 8.
4 by 8.
Oh, cool.
Each side is 4, so
Perfect.
10 by 8.
And then it has the division in the middle, so it makes it a little wider.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
And I love the bricks down at
Right,
the
right,
bottom
right.
and.
No, the
that-
whole thing is
that-
wonderful.
It's really, it's just.
It would be great to take it like when they have the jacuzzi and all that stuff, to have it at the Center for the Arts somewhere,
Sure.
where everybody.
Elevate it because it's like this.
If all the nonprofits know about it, every
They're gonna-
nonprofit will want it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure
For
that
some kind of
Laredo Main
presentation.
Street will
They
want
Oh,
it.
yeah.
I know that we would, at Laredo Border Sign, we'd like to have, we were just talking about probably using it during a celebration of Bobby Bay's passing. And because we do a little slam for him there.
Yeah.
That's where I've seen you, in the borders.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic event.
Yes. Well, thank you all so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very
I'm
much.
gonna excuse myself, I gotta go to a granddaughter's T-ball game that started.
Hey, you're busy, boy.
Thank you.
Yeah, anything we can do
So
to.
we have a way to get in touch with
Oh,
them.
sir?
Yes,
You're
yes,
not
this is
you're not
with,
gonna get paid, okay?
Yes.
No tips.
Thank you. Okay, so is there anything else that we need to discuss or? No? Are we
Happy
kind
Thanksgiving.
of done
Bye,
here?
happy Thanksgiving.
Do we have to
Bye,
set up
Amanda.
what are we gonna discuss the next time? Do we have anything?
What's on our agenda next time?
The
Does everybody
presentations
have
by members
an idea?
of,
Oh,
goals
what
and
we would
objectives.
like to put together
that's
for
right.
the year, okay, that.
So are we gonna get the charter out to everybody so that they're working on it instead of, I mean, in other words, the members that are not here?
Oh, yes, we have to let them know.
Yeah.
What we want them to do, sure.
How many are
It's
missing today?
Julio,
Dr.
Colin,
Campbell,
and
Oh.
Alfonso
Poncho.
Santos. I don't know.
Yeah, he told me today, he had told me before,
He's your guy.
but he had thought he was gonna wait to see who else is coming on board, because the elections, there's a runoff.
Who does he represent?
Alex Perez.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I think maybe that's why he wanted to wait to submit his letter of resignation until the new.
Oh, he's resigning?
He's.
Oh, okay. All
¿Con
righty.
quién está?
Con Alex Perez.
Alex, okay.
Okay, so, and I don't know what else we need to have on.
But if anything comes up and you'd like,
Just
let me
send
know
you
about-
info,
yes,
okay.
about your Noma. I mean,
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
for sure.
that for sure.
if we have an update, I could put it on the
Mhm.
agenda.
Okay.
And then also, I guess, we're making a presentation to the city council concerning our
Position.
position.
Well, what we can use is market it as it's our, report, our report
Right, that's what I'm
years,
saying.
and then what our goals and objectives are for the new year.
We should have that prepared
Yeah.
for our next meeting, cause the council meeting is after our meeting, right?
There's gonna be,
I think you
Well,
said
the
it.
council meeting's in February, so.
Oh,
so-
okay, that's
there's
right.
one in January, but it's too close
Too
to,
soon.
your,
Yeah,
the
no,
meeting that
that's
you're
fine.
gonna have.
For us to, have a presentation in February,
Yes.
okay, yeah. Okay, and then, well, I don't know, we might have more presentations if people come and present anything.
You know, Bill, a couple of weeks ago, I had, somebody contact me, about the, New York, dance troupe, Bully. And they wanted to come to Laredo, they wanted to, see if we could get sponsors, it was expensive. They have a grant that would pay for, I think, half, but it's a $25,000, you know, and they wanted me to bring it before the commission. I talked to Albert Torres, and he said, look, if you wanna present it to the commission and it's something that we would want for Laredo, then the city council could work and trying to fund it.
Oh, okay.
If it's something, but when I started looking around for a venue, there is no, in other words, for us to make it work, we would need a big venue. Because it's so expensive,
The LEA.
and that would be extremely too big.
Yeah.
And so we don't have any,
They
SAC is
can-
taken.
They can make it small, I've been to
They
like
can make
smaller,
it small.
they can make it.
But you know what they don't have is the adequate flooring.
Well,
You're gonna have an accident, that's the thing, because they're partitions.
well, and that's an issue also.
Yeah, they're,
And so what I.
What is their ideal size?
Like capacity, yeah.
Well, it depends on us, but because it's very expensive, he says, if you all wanna make it, if the city wants to make money with it, you know, this is how much it's charged. And the city says the only way we can bring it and pay, you know, through the hotel motel is to invite the community, but it has to be free, like invite Heavenville and invite, you know, all the little communities so that, you know, we can pay for it. And then we started talking about there's nowhere, SAC is completely, they're
Booked, is it?
booked.
Yeah, but it.
Is
how
it
many-
large?
And what they're saying is, they need at least 1,500,
Well, that's the only place is the Civic Center. That's the only place, seats 2,000,
And,
1,900
right now
and
they're-
But
something.
that's just it.
That's the only place.
We cannot have any, because it's being right now renovated, it's not available, it won't be available for 2 years.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
wow, and I
Oh
think
my
they're
God.
also lowering the capacity of the auditorium, because they're putting bigger seats is what I heard.
They might make it bigger other ways.
Mhm.
I know they're discussing that, but
Well,
it's like, we don't
okay.
have, it. So I said, okay. But that's just an idea, because if somebody comes to us with ideas like that, and I'm glad that
Mhm.
they said, okay, bring it to the commission can recommend, that's what
Right.
they're saying. The commission can recommend, you know, things like this and bring it to the city council, and they're willing to fund it.
And it's 25,000 total, or
No,
how?
it was 25,000, and they have a grant from I don't know what art foundation that would pay for half, so it would cost
12,000.
12,000.
Mhm.
But hey, you know, and again, because we don't have, right now, there's only 2 venues besides the LEA, which is extremely big.
Right.
And they're booked because they know that the Civic Center is gonna be out of commission. It's booked for a year in advance, I can't believe.
what the,
SAC.
LEA,
SAC, for one SAC.
Yeah,
And then I thought, okay, the Martinez, but that's, I think, 750, it's not that.
750.
And
But you keep the-
the LMT, I mean, the TAMIU.
Tammy,
That's only 400 and
Yeah, that's
something.
even smaller.
It's even
Yeah.
smaller, although the recital hall seats 800 and something.
Right,
So the recital hall is more,
right, the theater's smaller than the recital.
theater is small.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess this is one of the things we need to have on our list when we have our meeting in January, like, one of the ideas.
Maybe recommend maybe to the city that we would like at one point invite, you know, dance troops from New York or
No, yes.
whatever.
No, that's why I say we come up with a list, we do some research, we say, oh, I want this particular group, I would like this to be something that we could get to happen. And it could be like bring a specific group or have some kind of a festival that would bring different groups together or something, whatever. But that's why I think we need to have a schedule of what we wanna have
Have an
happen
idea.
for 2019 and see how we can get these things to come about.
It's too bad that the downtown convention center, I was hoping there's gonna be a lot of money in new building and we're gonna get 2%.
I don't think, well, honestly, I don't think that idea is dead. I think they are
They're probably gonna do it.
they're reconsidering, but I don't think the idea is dead at all. But yeah, I mean.
But it's not that
Because, you know,
large
when they
either.
talked about new money for anytime there's construction, we might get 2% or how much was it?
Right, yes.
I was already making, oh my God, we're gonna have.
Calculating.
I
You were
was
counting
already
your pennies.
calculating.
Ka-ching, ka-ching,
I
yeah.
know, me too. Oh,
Well,
well.
yeah.
I can't
So,
believe we don't have a
Well,
venue.
Well,
It
we're
is
Laredo.
We're not ready to.
Is it one performance? Maybe we can do 2 performances.
No, they're willing to do that, you know, they're willing to do that, but, right now, the thing was that they needed a commitment now,
Now.
because they scheduled the
I
tours,
see.
they're
In
touring,
advance.
they're
Right.
touring all over the United States. And I was like, you know, hurry, we need to know, okay, hold on, next week, let me see what, and it's just, I started calling venues,
And what type of dance is it?
it's gorgeous. It's folklore. A lot of it is folklore, but it's high end. I mean, I was watching the videos that they say, cause they go all over.
Mhm.
Just
And what is their name? Maybe I can.
Calpulli. Calpulli.
Okay.
I think I saw that
Balbuli.
somewhere on
Yeah.
Facebook or something.
And it's a large,
It's in New York.
but it's a large, group?
It's a large group, and they have the most incredible costumes, and it's a major.
Okay, well, something
All
to
right.
think about.
Okay, I move that we adjourn, people.
Second?
Second, third.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
I.
It's been moved and seconded, this meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.
Well, happy
And I'm
Thanksgiving to
hoping that
everybody.
Thank you.
No, they still don't.
No, yeah, so yeah, no.
But I'm gonna do them again. Maybe
But
there'll
this
have
time
to be,
use Gorilla Glue.
no, maybe there'll have to be something that I can set up and take down and put away, you see? I
Or
was
just
very
electrify
innocent
them.
in thinking, sticks on the page,
Electrical angels wings.
we're gonna stay there.
How sad they took
I
that.
know.
That's just not nice.
They
And it
steal
was the
everything.
decal that you.
Yeah, they were decals, yeah, and it cost me $250, those
They're
decals.
pricey. I'm looking at that for.
I got it
signage
too.
around here.
I mean, what was
I
it?
don't know, I
It's just-
secretly think, and please don't let this read.
Oh, okay.
Wait.
Okay.
Yes.
Is it being recorded?
Yeah, she's stopping it. Angie?
Yeah. It won't be so secret.
Okay.